Excuse me. Um, so yeah, I've been looking at both of my grandmother's birth charts, and just like comparing them and then comparing them to mine and what's going on with me. And so I'm 28. I'm in a fifth house perfection year, and last year was a fourth house perfection year. And so looking at like the synastry, I guess. So like my fourth house is Virgo and my 10th house is Pisces. So last year, like that axis was highlighted. That's also my ICMC axis. Um, and looking at like how does that relate to my grannies, both of my grandmother's charts. So my mom's mom, Beverly, she has her moon in Pisces, which is my 10th house and also where my Saturn is. And my dad's mom, Gail, had her sun in my fourth house in Virgo. And then both of their Saturns are in my fifth house, Libra. They both had Libra Saturns. My granny Gail, her Venus was also in Libra, conjunct her Saturn, which right now I'm in a fifth house perfection year. So that is highlighted, like this Libra energy, I feel like is highlighted through that lineage. Which also Beverly on the other end of that axis, 11th house Aries, her Venus was. So I feel like the things that I have been feeling are coming up and trying to release and crying about. Things related to like not being able to be a child and have that childlike spirit, like your childhood was ruined at a very early age. Sexual liberation, ownership of my body, and how did that relate to what my grandparents went through. And I feel like because those things, because I'm highlighting those things in my personal life, they're also being highlighted through that lineage. And how our charts are, I don't even know if this makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling, but how our charts are connected and helping me focus this energy of releasing, because I feel like I have been, and I think I said this before, I feel like I have been releasing things that do not belong to me, but they are mine to hold because they were passed down to me. And that's what I feel like this last 2 years were about, especially seeing the connection with my grandmother's charts. I don't have my grandfather's charts, and I think that is something that I need to look into. Um, yeah, that is something I need to look into and then compare that to my parents' charts. Um, but I did see my mom's chart in comparison to her mom, Beverly, and there's a lot of like this Venus moon tension, which I can see how that played out and how that plays out for my relationship with my mom. But I think that is really cool to like have this confirmation after feeling all these things, and it's like I'm not actually like crazy. Like I can look and see that there are synastry, synchronicity. um yeah, I'm double checking my notes and seeing what else. Yeah, my granny Beverly's Venus is opposing her Saturn. um my granny Gail's moon is in Taurus, which is my 12th house. And then they both have Mars in Sagittarius, which is my 7th house, and I have my Jupiter, Mercury, and moon is there. So how does that relate? Yeah, it's very much giving release. It feels like I am a cosmic release for these patterns, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that could also be like coming from my ego, and I don't have a lot of I don't know where to go to research this in terms of like what it means for Black people to do this work. And when I say Black people, I mean descendants of enslaved Africans in America. Because a lot of astrology and spirituality stuff is written from a white perspective, or um, just like different, it's different culturally. And I feel like Black culture and Black people have experienced so much in a short period of time. Like, what is that? What do these patterns and things mean for us? And then I've also been thinking about like just how, yeah, like a lot of astrology things are written from a white perspective, and um it takes an extra layer of like psychoanalysis to flip that to Black lives. And what does that mean in operation under oppression? Like, how does your peak periods, are the things that are supposed to be super beneficial for you in terms of like your natal chart, are the transits and things that are going on, how does that come about if you are an oppressed people, if you are constantly in a state, like your mind state is in one of like survival or autopilot, like how do these things show up? And a lot of, I feel like they are micro, instead of like when we are in tune and we are not of an oppressed mind, how those things can be super beneficial to like the shift in universal flow. And I don't really know if that makes sense, but it does make sense. I'm not going to say I don't know if it makes sense. It does make sense, and it's going to make sense for the people it needs to make sense to. I just want to talk to more of those people who are thinking in that term of like um, astrology from a lens of an oppressed people.